Barack Obama. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, where do you rate Barack Obama?
A 4. A 4. I think there are a lot of decisions being made that I and probably the majority of Americans are not impressed with right now. I think our economy is not being put on the right track.
All right, so we heard it there. Sarah Palin says Barack Obama gets a 4. I love it. She was so certain about the number. This is really, really something. Kevin Madden, Republican strategist, joins us now. So give us a 1 to 10 grade on how Sarah Palin has handled these first 2 days, Kevin. I know this is something that's consumed your life as well as everyone else's.
No, I think she's done very well. I mean, I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, you'd have to give it an 8. It's been, I mean, look, anytime you have a book roll out, the object of your goal is to try and get as much attention for it. Well, on that part, it's been a 10, but, you know, I think that it, again, has opened up, again, a relitigation of the campaign, and that's probably just brought it down a check a little bit to 8.
And Kevin, do you sense growth in Sarah Palin as a public figure since she was last on the scene prominently in interviews?
I don't think there's enough, David, in the interviews to really offer a comprehensive judgment on that. But I do think these interviews tend to remind her supporters exactly why they love her. She talks about her family. She talks in a very personal way. She talks in a way that is very anti-politician. And I think what's really drawn people to Sarah Palin from the very beginning has been the fact that she's not one of these typical creatures of Washington, but instead is somebody who looks like and represents the sentiments and feelings of many of those folks that are part of the grassroots in the Republican Party.
Obviously, Kevin, the book is the book. She's going to get asked a lot of questions about some of the details in there. How would you advise her to handle the questions that come about the campaign infighting? Steve Schmidt questions, not to mention Levi Johnston questions that come out there. She seems to be willing to engage on those fronts so far. Yeah, well, I think ultimately the art of winning in politics is about what you're going to do and where you're going forward. It has much less to do with trying to, again, I keep using the word relitigate because that stuff has already happened. There's not really much you can do about it. Score settling is great for having tomes and books, but it's if you're going to look about if you're trying to essentially carve out a place where you're going to be a leader for the future, again, it has to be about where you think the country's going and what your part is in it, what your role is in that.
Kevin, I know this goes at the heart of what you do for a living, but it seems to me that many other potential 2012 contenders, your friend Mitt Romney, Tim Pawlenty, others, they have political advisors around them. They bounce off things, even in this stage of the game of sort of how to respond, how to react to something. Just a coterie of advisors around them to bounce things off. She does not seem to have any of that kind of political operation around her. That, I think, is part of the appeal you're talking about. Right. It keeps her very sort of genuine in that way. Is it a danger for her in some way to get that kind of political crowd around her to help her through this? Do you think that may be a threat to that genuine, real American appeal that she has?
I think right now she believes it's serving her well, because you're right. I think she's kind of fashioned herself right now as the anti-politician. And if you look at some of the frustrations that she had in the book, is that she felt she was being handled. And that ultimately she believes with folks like Senator Lieberman that these folks may have been trying to change her. Now, I don't want to offer judgment on that, but it seems to be that seems to be her instinct right there, is to avoid a coterie of advisors and an inner circle, and instead focus on talking about what she cares about, what she believes, let people have a glimpse into Sarah Palin, the personality, and as